Like this is a movie. You just can't believe that this actually happened here before our very eyes.
And I think the mayor said it. We all either know someone or know someone who knows someone who works in the World Trade Center. And I know I called a friend to make sure her friend was fine, and thank God he was.
Yeah, I took a walk a few minutes ago just to get a break and walked outside. It is completely empty at 57th and 10th. Nobody on the street. And no cars, but we have that package we want to go to you now. This is a look back at the history of the World Trade Center. There is an empty, aching hole in the New York City skyline. The Twin Towers of the World Trade Center are gone, wiped away in the worst act of terror to hit America. The towers, each 110 stories of gleaming glass and steel, had become part of New York's identity, symbols of an engineering marvel, of capitalism, of America. An estimated 50,000 people worked in the towers, and another 90,000 passed through each day as visitors, many coming to visit the observation deck for a bird's-eye view of the city. It was all destroyed in under 2 hours. It happened before, on that terrible day in February 1993, when a suicide bomber tried to blow up the towers by detonating a truck bomb in an underground garage, blasting a crater half the size of a football field beneath the towers. 6 people were killed and more than 1,000 injured. But on that day, the towers kept standing. The '93 bombing changed America. It brought terrorism home, and it shattered the country's sense of security. Soon, parts of the city became fortified as prosecutors brought cases against terrorists accused of plotting other attacks against landmarks here in New York, against U.S. embassies in Africa, and against American citizens around the world. The Twin Towers were first imagined in the early 1960s as part of an urban renewal project. The first building in the $1.2 billion complex opened in 1970. The towers were completed 6 years later, and they were immense in every detail. 43,000 windows, 99 elevators, and each 1,350 feet tall. For a time, they were the tallest buildings in the world, and until this morning, they had been the tallest buildings in New York City. What the 1993 bombing showed was how the towers had been designed to be especially strong, using load-bearing steel walls rather than the steel cage construction typically used in modern skyscrapers. The 16-acre complex was finished in 1988, and it became an international hub for business, home to more than 1,200 companies, many of them involved in international trade. Now, as the smoke drifts across a bright blue, empty sky, a wounded city tries to understand the unthinkable. And in talking to people today out in the street, here in the newsroom, over the phone, it seems that we all know someone who worked in the World Trade Center, and now so many of us are desperate for information on the fate of our friends and our loved ones. And as that information comes out, we will be here to bring it to you. Ernie, Angela?
Okay.
Of course, the problem right now is that there are so many people who are still unaccounted for, and the efforts are continuing there. That we are told, of course, that in order to get inside and to deal with that problem, those fires have to subside, have to be under control. Not happening as of yet. But as you know, and you can tell us more, there's a lot of need out there, especially blood.
Well, the Red Cross was saying today they have an urgent need for type O negative blood, and they need that so much because that's the universal donor blood. But when we spoke to someone from the Red Cross later today, they said that they were okay for now, but the next few days they were going to be in a much greater need for that. So over the next few days, if people can take the time out to donate blood, that would be greatly appreciated.
And actually, I understand New Yorkers have been going out in droves today, so much so that they're having to be turned away because, you know...
Too many. If you have O negative, you should really make a point of trying to donate blood.
Michael, thank you so much.
Okay, we want more right now. Marcia Kramer is standing by at an undisclosed location. She has been following the mayor and getting more information. The mayor held a news conference earlier tonight, talked about how schools would be closed tomorrow and that he urged people, if they could stay home tomorrow, to do that, in fact. Marcia, I'm sure you have a lot more to tell us. Let's go to you right now.